Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy payday. It is November 2nd. Um, it is, well, depending on where you are, good morning or good afternoon. It's morning for me. Um, we are rounding out the year. We only have less than 2 months left before the new year and before all the craziness starts. So I'm excited because we've got a great lineup throughout the rest of the year. So that make sure you guys are plugging into Tuesday Zoom and letting your new people know about it. I don't know about you guys, but this has become probably my favorite Zoom of the week. So I love getting to hear people's stories and their tips and get some motivation on Tuesdays. This is one of the ways to do it. I'm so excited because today I have an absolute rock star on, Ashley Sy. And if you guys don't know um, Ashley is like 12,000 months pregnant right now, but she looks like she isn't. She doesn't even look like she's pregnant. Um, she is so cute. I am so envious of her social media because I just want to be her. She has one of those kind of social medias. And as sweet as she looks online, oh my gosh, you guys, she is so sweet in person. Like when I tell you her life looks like it does online, it truly does. And she's just got a kind heart. She is a rock star when it comes to social media. She's a rock star at this business and she's an amazing leader. So I am super excited for you guys to hear from her today and hear her story and her tips. And Ashley, first of all, thank you for doing this today. And I want to kind of let everybody in on who you are so they can get to know you a little bit. So I kind of want to start with what you were doing before you got involved in anything like this and kind of how you found this industry and how you found Lavelle, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Sounds good. I love you. Thanks for the bomb introduction. Like, I feel like I should have had this baby already yesterday. I literally went to clear my background here so it wasn't a hot mess. And I'm out of breath because of it. I'm like, come on. I'm over being pregnant. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. This has actually been my favorite Zoom for a really long time. And when you asked me to jump on, I'm like, yay, I'm going to speak on what's been my favorite Zoom since I joined. So I feel super excited. Just to start off, you guys, I've never done anything like this before. Okay. When I first joined, and I'll get into my story a little bit, but when I first joined, I used my Facebook strictly for close friends and family. I had no Instagram. So what you guys see, if you guys do follow me, was all built over time. Over the past, it's been almost 3 years since I've been with Lavelle. So don't think you need to have this amazing social media to be able to do this business. You don't. And that's why plugging into these Zooms and stuff is key, because you'll learn a lot of that stuff. So before I found Lavelle, before I found the products, I lead with the products always, because that's what changed my life. And that's what makes this business so enjoyable for me, and why I love it so much, and why I keep going when life happens. So I'll just give a general backstory. Me and Jordan had Zeke right out of high school. We were actually only dating a month when I got pregnant, which is crazy that we're 7 years married now with our third baby. So thank God for that. But we had him really, really young. Jordan was just starting college, and I had actually quit high school. You guys, I can't believe I'm admitting this with this many people on a Zoom. I still don't have a diploma or a GED. So I did not even graduate high school. I stopped high school my senior year, mid-year. I was just in a really bad place, and I got pregnant, and I was like, okay, well, let's do this. I'm going to be a mom. This is what I'm going to do. So that's kind of just you can do anything you want in life, if you make it happen. So Jordan was just starting college, and we were having a baby really young. Over the course of, the years as he went through college and I started a job, we just made a lot of bad financial decisions, really bad. We were young. We were just stacking credit cards. I don't even know why people kept giving us credit cards, to be honest with you. We had so many credit cards. We had $60,000 in student loan debt. We went out and got this bougie townhome that like we could not afford. And we had our 2 vehicles, and then we had Roxanne. So during this time, and you know, 5 years goes by really, really fast. So during that time, we just were stacking on debt. It was insane. And it got to a point where we couldn't even keep up with like bills that were a necessity, like our car payments. Like we needed our cars. We were hardly able to bring groceries into the house. Like we were 2 months behind on our rent, and the landlord was like, you guys need to pay the rent or get out. And that was where we were at. The cable was shut off. I went to turn on cartoons one day, and this was the day where I was like, I went to turn on cartoons because, you know, TV watched my kids. I went to turn on cartoons and the TV wasn't on. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do now? I called Jordan. Why is the TV off? He's like, I haven't paid the bill in like 4 months. I'm like, our life had just completely I felt like we were drowning. Like literally I couldn't breathe. And we were at a point where they were like threatening to take our cars away. We were going to get kicked out. And so we made a decision. We're like, we have to move out of this townhome. We have to go live with one of our parents. We have to go live with, you know, we decided to move in with his mom. She had just his old bedroom from when he moved out of there. Like his sister was still living there, his brother. And so we made a decision that we had to do, as hard as it was to go live back with our parents with 2 kids. So we moved in with his mom. We put everything in storage, and the space we had in that room, we could only fit a full-size bed. Our daughter was so young that she needed to sleep in a crib, but we put a pack and play there, and she slept in the pack and play. And then our son literally slept on the floor. I made him a nice, comfortable bed, but he was sleeping on the floor. And for me, like for us, it was like, you look at your kids every day in that situation and you're like, how did I get to this point? Like, how did I let my life spiral this far out of control? And so this is where we're at. And I didn't think it could get any worse. I felt like I had hit rock bottom, and it was like, I just felt like such a failure as a mom. I get a call that my dad passed away. So my dad passed away at 55 of a heart attack in his sleep. And I'm going to cry. It destroyed me. It destroyed me. It ripped the ground out from underneath me. And with everything going on, I just didn't want a life anymore. I didn't want to do anything anymore. I didn't want to hang out with my kids. Like hanging out with them was just stressful. Like I wasn't enjoying me anymore. I didn't like who I was anymore. And over the course of a year, while I was grieving, I put on a lot of weight. I started drinking a lot of alcohol. I gained a lot of weight very, very fast. And every day when I look in the mirror, I just hated it. I would avoid the mirror. You guys, I would avoid the mirror. And if you see my social media now, you would think I always was confident. I always had this like confidence about me and this love for myself. And I didn't. I hated who I looked at in the mirror every single day. My marriage was failing because of how miserable we were, you know? And my kids just weren't getting the mom that they deserve. So I was watching this chick on social media at the time. I thought she was crazy. I literally was like, she is so crazy with her little 3 steps and her sticker, her happy sticker. I'm like, she's nuts. There's something about Stephanie Grotchick that just like kept me intrigued, and I just kept watching her because like it's almost like when you're skeptical, you want to believe it, but you're so skeptical that you just think it's just a bunch of BS. And that's where I was so skeptical. But it was coming up on a year of my dad's passing. We were still in Jordan's mom's house, making no good financial decisions. Still not trying to better our financial situation, even though we're literally don't even have to pay rent. His mom let us live there for free. She's feeding us, and we still were broke. And so a year I grieved. It was really hard. It's coming up on a year of his passing, and I was looking at pictures that were popping up in my memories of the funeral, and I realized how like bad I've gotten. And something clicked for me where I was like, I got to make a change. I cannot keep going like this, or I won't make it. My kids will lose a parent young, and I'm like, I gotta make a change. Like, I looked at my babies every single day, and even though I have love for them, I was just doing the bare minimum. Like, I never once didn't love my kids, but I wasn't doing what they deserved. So I reached out to Steph. I'm like, let me try your happy patch. And she sends it to me. I take it. I was a day one thriver, and I remember those capsules hitting my system like within 10 minutes. It was the first time in a long time I could get out of bed, like for real. And getting out of bed was really, really difficult for me. I felt incredible, and I knew like I could not go without those products. I told her I was broke, although I found money for alcohol and Starbucks every day, but I told her I was broke. She's like, you can thrive for free. Do you know 2 people that need these products too? I'm like, my sister and my mom, they've been grieving 100%. They need these products too. And I got thriving for free. She's like, do you need an extra paycheck? I'm like, yes, I do. So I joined the business, you guys, and I haven't looked back. I have literally not stopped running since the day I pressed the promoter button, because and I've had a lot of life happen, especially these past 6 months. Life will happen. The reason that I don't stop sharing these products is because there's a mom out there that needs this as much as I did. And my team's goals and dreams mean more to me to keep going and pushing even when life happens, because I can this product, this company changes lives. It changes lives. So I never stopped running. I continue to share. I continue to learn. I continue to grow. I follow what my leaders tell me to do. And I be the leader that my team deserves and the mom that my kids deserve. And you guys, we own our own home now. And it's all because of this business. We each drive a luxury vehicle. It's a luxury, but I don't pay a car payment. And that's what we love. Me and my husband drive, really beautiful cars that we don't have to pay for. And that's the beauty of it, is we don't have to pay for them. We are completely debt free besides our house, which we're paying off right now. We just finished paying off his student loans the last time around. And yeah, this business has completely changed my life, like a 180, a one freaking 80.
I was thinking about your story, and when we tell people it doesn't matter your age or your background, I mean, you were young joining this business, but not only that, you didn't graduate. You don't have a diploma, you don't have a GED. When we say anybody, like, it doesn't matter what, like, if you're gonna think about your past or what you've been through and come into this and think that that's going to dictate your future, it absolutely won't. And I think that is just so incredible that you shared that, because it just proves that you can do this. Anybody can do this. And when you were talking about moving back in with, you know, parents and having your kids sleep on floors, like, that so resonated. I was thinking about me doing that same exact thing, and literally looking at your life going, how did it get here? How do I have this many bills? How am I in this much debt? How do I ever get out of it? And really feeling like there's no way out. Like, how are we ever going to turn this around? And I think about your story and what a blessing it's been, not just for you, but people with similar stories. And literally within a year, 2 years, they come into Lavelle and change their entire lives. Everything. It's like, oh, like you said, a 180. It is completely different. Let's talk a little bit about, I know you came in, you ran. Did you grab your VIP bonuses? Did you already have a following on social media? How long did it take to go to each rank? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I feel like I like this question because I feel like my growth was really, really fast in the beginning. So I did grab both my VIP. I wanted that extra cash so bad, that I literally talked to everyone about it. I told everyone at my job about it. I was telling all my family members. I told my sister, I'm like, you got to try this stuff. If I need to come over and shove it down your throat, you will love it. And So right in the beginning, I literally reached out to all my friends and family. It was anyone that I knew. I did not have a social media at that time. I cringe at what I used to post back then when it pops up in my memories, you guys, like it was bad. And so I just reached out to everyone. So I grabbed my VIP 800, 1600. At the time, we had there was rank advancement bonuses. I joined in January of 2019, and it was, if you hit the rank, you got a half match on it. So there was a $2,000 bonus up for grab. And then you got the iPad mini bonus. So I was like, that is so much cash on the table that I just cannot let go. And so I ran after that. And the thing is too, is with this business came like so much knowledge around financially setting yourself up better. So when I was getting this money, I also had mentors and people, especially like Steph, who, you know, or even the company as a whole being a debt-free company is like setting yourself up, using this as a stepping stone to like better your life rather than just like me going out and blowing the money on something. I had this like community that's wanting to like help people do better, if that makes sense. So when I did grab these bonuses, I was starting to like pay off credit cards little by little, and I was utilizing it in a way where it was going to step me forward. So I think that's huge, is like when you guys are getting bonuses, which come and go, my plan, and Lisa, it was actually you who said this a long time ago. You said, give yourself a 5-year plan. You guys, this business does not have to happen overnight for you. I know we hear a lot of leaders that grow really, really fast and do this business really, really fast. It's been 3 years for me. I'm in 80K and I slowly grew there, but I have a solid business, a solid team. You do not have to grow overnight to do this business. If you keep at it and you grow a solid business, give yourself a 5-year plan. That stuck with me a long time ago. And so I do feel like my growth was a little bit slower. I hit 12K in 5 months. I got the match bonus on that too, because the bonuses were, I think the bonuses were still happening. Gosh, it was so long ago, but I remember I grabbed a $6,000 bonus with that because I have the big, when they gave those big checks out, it's in my garage still. It reminds me every single day when I leave. So I had that, and then I went 40K the following year. And then you guys, I just recently went 80K when we had bonuses, and I grabbed my family an $80,000 bonus. So like I said, if you don't grab bonuses, it's not the end all, but anytime there's bonuses on the table, I know that is money to push my family forward even farther. And I run like hell all year though. Like I run all the time. I almost lost my sister and my mom in a car accident in April. And I didn't stop running because I mean, it's okay to check out. It's okay to let life happen, but I just keep going because I know there's people that need this business. They need to hear about this. I need to keep changing lives. I can't stop because my life is a mess, you know, like got to keep going. And so I go and I move all the time. So when bonuses do come, they're almost like easy to grab because I've just been working so hard constantly since the day I pressed the promoter button, you know, so it's important to stay consistent and don't think that your journey needs to match someone else or mine or hers. Keep your blindfolds on. And like, if you just focus on yourself and focus on helping people, if you lead with the products and leading with these checks, changing people's lives instead of your own check, like that's where you'll be real successful. So that's my biggest tip on like growth, especially because I don't feel like 80K in 3 years isn't bad at all, but it's slower than some journeys. If I would have given up, you know, comparing myself to someone else's journey that was really, really fast, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here today.
I love that. And I always tell people, like, even if you promoted a rank a year, within 5 years, you'll be 200K. I mean, and even if it's longer than that, like, even if you were on a 10-year plan, think about where your life would be 10 years from now. The older you get, the years fly. And before you know it, 5 years goes by very quickly. 10 years goes by quickly. And if you're not doing anything different to change your situation in 10 years, it's going to look exactly the same. That's why it never makes sense for me when people quit, because I'm like, why would you quit? Like, just keep digging away and see where it takes you, because at least there's hope for the future versus no hope at all when you know, aren't doing anything to change your situation. when you you talked about your mom and your sister being in that accident, and this business during that time, I mean, I'm sure you had to be there for them. And if you would have worked a normal job, it would have been really hard for you to be able to be there for them like you were able to be there for them. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, and that it's huge, you guys. Not only the time freedom. So actually, I retired Jordan in January. This January will be a year. He worked for USPS, slaving for USPS. Okay, 6 days a week, split shifts. I retired him last January because of this business, and so I also had his support, him being home, and then my sister got T-boned at 70 miles an hour, you guys. They told me that she wouldn't make it. She had a tear in her aorta. She broke C1 through C4. She's still doing surgeries. She's still recovering. She still hasn't talked because she has so much scar tissue from being intubated. She still is living with a trach. And without the community that I have here, my friends, like these are my very best friends, Steph, Britt, like the whole entire team, they really just like took over. They were like, check out. My sister was going after a 40K bonus at the time. Stephanie and Britt said, we got this, like we're gonna grab this for her. She was still in a coma. I was able to tell her she grabbed a $40,000 bonus when she woke up out of her coma. She was in a coma for 18 days, a medical induced one for her safety. When she woke up, I was able to tell her that we as a team grabbed her a $40,000 bonus to help her family with bills, especially right now. So like it just as a whole, like having the support system, having the time freedom. My husband was home. He wouldn't have been able to take off. Mail does not stop and they don't care what's going on in your life. Having to spend 18 days sitting in her hospital room, laying there crying, like a job just doesn't let you off. It just don't let you just take 18 days off. And it was like, it's seriously, this business is such a godsend, especially when you go through life, because the page, like you can check out and take care of yourself. Your team will cover you. Your team will have your back. Your leaders will have your back, and your paychecks are still coming in. As crazy as it sounds, it's like I can check out for 2 weeks, spend the time in the hospital with my sister, and I still see a paycheck every Tuesday, and she still was seeing a paycheck. She grabbed a $40,000 bonus in a medical induced coma. Like, where do you find that? You don't, so yeah, it's a lot around it. This, honestly, like my friends through this, or my best friends, my sisters, have really gotten me through like the hardest times in my life.
It's so crazy to really put into words sometimes how crazy amazing this business is, and not just the business and the money, that's all amazing, but the support, the people, I mean, if you work at a normal job, most people are like, too bad, don't know what to tell you,
Mhm.
come to work tomorrow, nope, I'm not picking up your shift. Like it's just so cool to be a part of this and to experience how good people really can be, how good people can be in this world. So yeah, it's just amazing to know that, I mean, that you had that. And just, I know that your sister is still in all of our prayers. So we're crossing our fingers that she is going to be able to talk. I know that's been on your heart a lot. Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about your social media, because you said when you started, you didn't really have much of a social media. And there's a lot of people that they feel the same way. I'm just getting started and I don't have that many people, or I don't really know how to do this social media stuff. How did you go from really not having much of a social media to where you are today? And give us some tips, because your social media is incredible and it is basically the biggest way you grow your business.
Yeah, and I think when you first start, I think people get wrapped up in, and I new people that join our team, I don't have them focus on like the aesthetics and like the look of it. Like, just start posting how you feel with Thrive. I think that's a big misconception, is people join and they think it has to look like mine. Like, that'll come over time. Like, just start posting how you feel with Thrive. Now, when you are starting off, it's good not to post the graphics. Well, because those are everywhere, everyone's using them. You don't need to be a Thrive ad. We get plenty of emails of that stuff. You want to be real of how you feel with Thrive. You know, take a picture of you wearing your DFT and talk about how it makes you feel. That kind of stuff. Sharing from the Lavelle fan page where it's like legit stories of people's success and not just a flyer of the 3 steps and all the nutritional facts on it, right? Because that's not interesting. So the thing is too, is like, you got to start somewhere. You don't go to my page and say, oh gosh, it doesn't look like that, I can't do this business. Just start posting how you feel on Thrive. That's just the main thing I have people start with. Post how you feel. But then how I learned all the social media is I would start to follow people that inspired me. I'd follow them. I'd start to pick up. And you guys, even to this day, I research social media. I YouTube how to do this, how to do that. If I see something I like, I will go type it in Google or type it in YouTube. How can I make that story? And just honestly, I'm constantly learning, not only for me, but so I can teach it to my team. So that's the thing, is I'm constantly teaching myself. And that's how I stay with the trends and the new things that are coming. And so that's my biggest tip, is just to constantly be like your own educator. Go and find out how to do it. If you see something you like, you know, plug into these social media training Zooms. There's so many. And also, if you see something you like, don't be afraid. Ask the leader. Be like, how did you do that? Especially if you ask me. I know a lot of you guys ask me, how do I do this and this? And I can send you how. Another thing that I do is, instead of scrolling TikTok or scrolling Reels, you could get lost on there for like 3 hours in who knows how you got to the dude eating some weird food. But follow people that are teaching you social media tips and tricks. Utilizing your time is important when you're teaching yourself. Instead of getting lost in random videos on TikTok, go follow people that are teaching you how to do things on social media. So I like to utilize those apps of how-tos. So that's how I learn as well. But yeah, you guys slowly work on your social media. It doesn't have to be perfect right away. If you just start posting how you feel with Thrive, people are going to see that and resonate with that. And you can work on how to make your photos really nice and how to make your captions super nice over time. Just keep teaching yourself. So that's what I do. I just teach myself. Honestly, I YouTube, I follow leaders that inspire me, and I apply it to my social media, and then teach my team how to do that too.
Yeah, and I think you're so right about not comparing it to other people. Just start somewhere. And watching other people. I mean, that's how I've learned everything I've done in 12 years of this business. Is I always say I'm the best stealer ever. Like, I take somebody else's stuff and I make it my own. I mean, I don't think I've had an original thought in 12 years. Like, I just have taken it all from someone else and I put my own spin on it. You know, I made it me, because the stuff is out there already. You just have to go find it and then figure out, how does this apply to me? And how can I make it my own, so that it sounds like me, so that it looks like me, so that people can relate to me and know who I am. Because if I'm like doing exactly what you're doing, I mean, I couldn't. I don't have your life. I don't have young kids. I mean, I have to find something that I can do that's going to relate to people that are my age or that have the same interests that I do. So I think that's super important. And I know that for you, like, where do you feel social media wise that you get the most customers and promoters? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it Reels? Is it live video? Like, where do you feel like if people aren't doing it, they really need to start trying to learning it?
Yeah. And so I feel like this comes with teaching yourself too, and kind of trying to figure out what's working. Because back when I started, Facebook was huge. I grew my whole network on Facebook, and then Instagram was actually moving at the time. I just didn't have one. I went over to Instagram, and, a lot of my business now is growing on Instagram, because the short videos, you guys, if you're not doing reels yet, if you're not making reels yet, you need to be. Facebook now has a reels section where you can post reels on Facebook. You can make a reel in Instagram, post it to TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and get huge engagement. That's how I've grown most of my followers, is from reels. So definitely like the short videos. People's attention spans, I feel like lives on Facebook, unless it's just super short and sweet, people's attention spans these days, I don't know what it is, are short. So you want to keep things real short. And you guys can make reels. Honestly, another thing I do, because I see it like, what do you make in reels? I like to go through and I'll scroll and find like trends that are happening, dance trends, music that's popular, and I'll apply it to just a Thrive video. Like, you can just apply the dance and incorporate your thrives, but reels are so big right now. And again, go to YouTube, how to make reels. There's so many influencers on Instagram. You can type in like how to reels, and you can find people that are really good at them and, you know, teach you how to's as well on like the best way to make reels. But reels, short videos, are huge. If you can keep them in like 15 seconds, they get the most engagement if they're shared, the longest they're watched. So if they're not scrolled past right away, so something super catching, wording to catch someone's attention right away, so they stop on it and watch it, is huge. So yeah, reels are really, really big. And actually, Lisa, I have a really good video that we did. Me and Angela did it, Angela Bay, on reels that I can give you, and we can post in the dream team for people. You guys, it's a really helpful video. So, and you know, she is the queen. Angela is the queen of Instagram. So I'll
Oh
give
my
that.
God, yeah. I definitely want to get that out to people, because I think that it doesn't matter who you are. I do think that you have to be willing to kind of learn these new things that are coming, especially doing what we do. I mean, you don't have to. You don't. But I do feel like if you feel like you're stuck, or you feel like you're not moving at the pace you want to, and you really want to grow your business, you've got to be open to learning and trying new ideas, and not being so, close-minded just to one or two ways of growing your business. Because the more ways that you have to grow your business, the more likely you're going to run into the right people. And I mean, you always seem to have a pretty good PPA and stuff. And do you feel like you are people just coming to you, or do you get in people's inboxes and are you like, hey, hello, here's me, and I'd love to tell you about Thrive? Like, I'm just curious as to, is everybody just knocking down your door, or are you making the effort to actually get to people to introduce Thrive?
Yeah, I wish it was that easy where people are just like, hey, give me your thrive. It's not. You guys gotta be, you gotta build relationships on social media. We're network marketers, we're networking. I am constantly commenting, loving. I'm not in people's inbox saying, hey, I have this like Thrive product that you would love. But no, I follow like-minded people, especially moms, people that are into the same things as me. And I'm constantly on their stuff, loving on them, and you will receive the love back. And the other thing is like, I'm in my stories constantly. And not just about Thrive, but I do show my Thrive that I do every single morning and what it does for me. You know, as I transition from the weight loss products into, I'm about to be 32 weeks pregnant, thriving. Now I talk about that. Now I'm like, pregnant moms are seeing all the energy that I still have, and how like I look good for being 32 weeks pregnant. I only gained 14 pounds, and I'm like, I feel great. And so I talk about that stuff in my stories. As your life kind of does its thing and your products are helping you, you got to talk about that in your stories. So that's where it's huge, is like, be super active in your stories, like super active. Show your life, show how Thrive applies to it. Like, my son plays hockey, for example. You guys, we have to get up for like 6 a.m. for hockey, and it's all day. And then, we just have a million things going on all the time. And if people see that and they're like, okay, look at her life. She's like up at 6 a.m. and then she's like still awake at 10. And I talk about how the Thrive gives me all day energy. And then they're like, dang, I wish I had that much energy at 31 weeks pregnant. Like, they're going to see that, but you have to like reach out and talk to them and love on their page. And then that's how they start to like look into your stories. Another thing I like to do is something that I do every single day is growing my network. So I follow new people. I'm adding through groups on Facebook. And another thing that I like to do is every single day I look in my stories and I see which non-thrivers are following me every single day. And I have that written down. I have it written down. Well, I keep it in a Google Doc spreadsheet of everyone that's viewing my stories. There's people that view it every single day that aren't thriving yet, meaning you guys, they're interested in something that's going on in my life, whether it's thrive, whether it's just my day-to-day life. And those are the people that I'm really focusing on engaging back with because they're clearly like very interested in something. And then they reach out, you know, everyone eventually reaches out. I have people that someone will say it to me, I've been watching you for like 2 years. Okay, I need to try this Thrive stuff. And I'm like, oh, I know you've been watching because I see you in my stories every morning. But I'm not pushy, and I don't say, hey, here's my Thrive, you know, like, hey, you want to try it? I wait for them to reach out, but I'm very involved with like engaging on their pages. So
yeah, and I think that people need to be more aware of that. Like it's great if you guys are in your stories and you're posting stories every day, but are you looking to see who viewed those stories? Are you looking to see who just liked that post, who just commented? Because they might not ever say a word about your Thrive, but if they saw it and you start seeing that name pop up all the time on your stuff, they're looking, you guys. That needs to go on a list of, that's a hot prospect. They might not be saying a word, but they are looking. And that means you need to start interacting with them more so that your stuff continues to pop up, because eventually they're going to go, okay, I give up. I got to ask, or I'm interested, or something's going to go your way. But I think that a lot of people just don't know how to work social media. They're like doing stories or they're making posts, but then they're not knowing what to do with who's watching those posts, who's following those posts, they're not paying attention to that stuff. And that's what you have to pay attention to. That's such a good tip. So I wanted to ask you about like this time of year. And I think now you've been in, 3 years-ish, and you've gotten to see business is so good sometimes, and sometimes business sucks, and sometimes it's on the upswing, sometimes it's on the down. What do you do in times where maybe, I don't know, your team doesn't seeming to do as well as it has other times, or it's not on the upswing? And have you noticed seasons in your business? Like, are you starting to get used to those and going, oh, okay, well, this happened last time this year at this time, so now this is when this is going to happen? Like, I kind of just want to give everybody a little view into, especially if they're newer or they've only been in maybe a year and a half, 2 years, that yes, there's upswings and downswings and what those look like, and then what you do in those times where things aren't an upswing, so to speak.
yeah, you guys, we're entrepreneurs, you know, at the end of the day. No business always has an upward trend. Like, there's going to be times, especially this, I know I've heard a lot of people talking about, you know, this summer sucked, whatever the case may be. But you guys, we've got to remember too, we just came out of COVID. This was like the first summer people were able to like go out and do things. You know, this is the first holiday. Like, last holiday, people were still recommended to like quarantine in a small group of family members. Like, these are the holidays where people finally get to like group up, and like, so keep that in mind. You know, businesses are always going to get slow, but yes, I remember the first year I was like, this is it, my Lavelle business is over. Like, this must be the end. And it's important that you reach out to your leader when you feel that way, because Stephanie's like, absolutely not, you're not going anywhere. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I think also, if you keep it in mind of like, what if you could just help one person each month? One mom, this is the way I think about it. And what if there's that one mom that's living in her parents' house with her 2 kids on the floor, her dad just died, and she's been watching you on social media, and she has no life to her left. And if you stop posting because your business is slow, then guess what? She just lost her hope of like ever feeling better. That's the way that I like to think of it, is when months are slow, when the business kind of slows down and you feel like, oh my gosh, this is like, is this still working? Like, do people still care? Is my business just going to like fall off the face of the earth? Think about that one mom or whatever resonates with your story. Think about that one person that is still watching you, probably not commenting. I didn't see a word on Steph's stuff. And I watched her for an entire year, miserable at home, watching through the screen. If she would have quit posting, I don't even want to think about where I would have been. I don't even want to think about it. And so keep that in mind when things are slow. And this is what I talk to my team about too, is we're in this business to help people, you guys. We're not in this business. I mean, the money is there and great. And I'd love to make $1 million, but I'm in this business to help people feel better and change their financial situation, just like mine was changed. And if I stop because it's slow, then I'm just giving all those people are going to lose hope because of me. You know what I mean? That's the way that I like to think of it, is just remember that businesses, especially these type of businesses, are always going to be up and down because they're really, really rewarding. You know, at some point you'll get to a point where, like, I feel like, you know, where Lisa's at, it's like, you know, it's not like your business goes super down, but you still feel up and down, but you're still kind of up, you know, like you guys don't have to work till you're 65. And then my grandma, man, I feel so bad for her. She's going through dementia and she's still paying her house payment. And she's like 76 years old, still paying her house payment because her retirement just sucked. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be 65 getting these small paychecks that can barely pay my bills still. You know what I mean? Like, so you just got to think of this long-term plan. And when times are slow, just keep that in mind. Like, you need to, this is it's not as long as of a plan as working till you're 65, getting a crappy like Social Security check, but it's not going to happen overnight. And it's not always going to be super smooth. Like, nothing in life is just super smooth, you know? So just keep that in mind. It's like, we're in this business to help people. If you guys stop sharing because your business is slow, you're literally giving up hope on someone that's watching you. I think I rambled. Hopefully
no, you're so right. You have to look at the big picture. Like, it's the big picture, and you learn over time when those, and everybody's different. You know what I mean? There's some people that are like, oh my God, my best month in the business is December. And there's other people that are like, December sucks. You learn what it is for you, and then you're smart with money. You know, like every business, you know, okay, I need to prepare for these months. And that's just part of it. But we can't get lazy or disappear just because our business feels like it's not moving as fast as it was in May and June. You know, like, you just can't do that, because you're so right. People are going to lose hope, or they're going to think you're not doing it anymore, or that it's not that important to you, or that it's not a part of your life. And they'll go look at somebody else, you know, they'll go follow somebody else. So what are some like really important things that you think you need to do with somebody that's new? Like a new promoter, or hold on a second. There's somebody talking. Okay, there we go. Somebody that's new, like a new promoter, just to make sure that they feel included, that they feel like they're part of a team, and right away, because we have to understand that everybody's going to move at a different pace, and we've got to plant the right seeds with people, and to keep people, you know, through ups and downs, and whether they start off slow or fast, they need to feel connected to a team. I think that's so important. But also, even to help them see success during those first couple months, what are some key things that you think are important to teach or help a new promoter do?
So I think the biggest thing and my biggest tip is when you're bringing on someone new is really to keep it simple for them. Simplifying it for them is huge. They don't need to come in and get added to every single group. There's so many groups, you know, we got Lisa's group. Well, for me, we have Steph's group, you know, and it's like, I'm not going to go add them to all the groups. So we actually have a group where we just put VIP people, and it has an albums tab, which kind of helps with just general information. And then there's, you know, a welcome video in there that walks them a little bit through the back office, and just very, very simple stuff that you need to do in your first 14 days. I also handhold, like in their first 14 days, they don't know what they're doing. It's really important to get on a welcome call with them, ask them their goals. Do they want to thrive for free, or are they trying to really run for this bonus? So you're not pushing them to a point where they don't want to do it. Like, you really need to know where they're at. So I like to know where they're at, what their goals are, what they're wanting to do with the business. And Steph jumps on the calls with me. And so we just show them that we have a community. We start a VIP chat, and this is where we really work with them through their first 14 days. And we actually have a whole 30-day kind of plan. So we go through their first 14 days. And the biggest thing is if someone doesn't grab their VIP, it's really important to remind them that this is not the end of their business. This bonus, you either grab or you don't, but this is going to be just the start of your business, So I think it's just really important to keep it very simple for them. Very simple. Make sure they understand the VIP period. Make sure you're understanding where they're at and what they're wanting to do with this business. And then for me, I give them stories to post in their stories. I give them post ideas. So the first 14 days, I'm like, hey, for an example, okay, day 1, this is what we're going to post tomorrow. Change it to make it your own. Take a selfie with you wearing your DFT. If they don't have products yet, I get a mini sent out that day. If they join and just order a kit, they get a mini sent out that day, so we get products to them ASAP. Help them make their first post, and then I'll say, hey, tonight, why don't you post something that you're eating for dinner or something like that, to just start getting them into the routine of posting. And then, every night I check in with them. How are you doing? Here tomorrow, post these in your stories, a couple slides of like the 3 steps, and I'll be like, and post a couple of things like your lunch or something with your kids. And then I'll help you with a post for tomorrow night. And I just stay really in contact with them the first 14 days. And help them with just general posting, general stories. And then if people comment on their post, for example, I have them get them into a 3-way with me right away. I take over. They learn the way I talk by being in the 3-way and watching me. So I'll say, add me to a 3-way. I'll do the talking from there. It introduces them to 3-ways super, super early because people are scared of 3-ways. It introduces them to that third-party validation right off the bat by saying, hey, throw me in a 3-way if anyone comments, and let me take it from there. And you can learn verbiage from there on, so you're not word vomiting or saying too much or saying the wrong things. You can learn through me, and it gives them that confidence too. And then when you do that, it's layered leadership. So people that you sign will do that. So when they sign someone, they're gonna say, okay, this is the routine that I went through, and this is what I need to do. And it just trickles down, and then you have a successful business,
Yeah. Amen. I mean, whatever you do with somebody new is what they're going to learn to do with whoever they bring in. So it's just so important that people have some kind of system that, especially, I like when you said you get them in a welcome message or call with Stephanie, because somebody else needs to welcome them too. Like, we have to start doing that more, and enough people are not doing it. So hopefully for the new year, everybody can make that one of their things that they're going to change. They're going to start making sure that happens. I also had a question about, I think for most people, the biggest question I get in my inbox from promoters is, I'll get somebody interested, but as soon as cost comes up, I seem to lose them. What do you do to close a customer or a promoter? Like, how does that process go when I'm in your inbox and I'm like, Ashley, I just saw your post. What's that patch thing? And you start telling me about it. And then I say to you, okay, how much is it? What do you say then?
Okay, I actually learned this from you. And this is why plugging into your leaders that are successful in this business is important. And I always remember which leader says it for some reason, but this is something that actually, Lisa, I heard on Zoom from you. I can't tell you what Zoom, but I know it came from you. You guys, it's about the confidence going into the price. If you tiptoe around, oh, well, it's 150 for the 3 steps, but you get this. And if you cut out your Starbucks and you actually say, if you go into it, blah, 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 then they're not confident in it. You just made them not confident, right? So I go and I say, girl, it is so affordable. It's only $5 a day. Like, just be super confident. You guys, our products are cheap. Okay. $5 a day to feel amazing. You all 3 steps, $5 a day. and you know, it's important to find their goals, but I always just say it super confidently, girl, you're going to feel amazing. It's only $5 a day. That's what I like to say. Simple as that. And you know, then they're like, okay, let's do this, because you instilled that confidence in them already. Same thing when a promoter joins, they're like, how much does it cost to start? And I'm like, girl, to start your business, super affordable. We have a bunch of different options that one can fit your needs, and I will send them the options of the kits. And I really loved the way that Brittany Strike taught me how to say the one about the $800 kit. You guys go in with confidence. I tell them the $800 kit is bomb, girl. You get 6 months of product. You get 2 free plus line products. I have this so memorized. You get 2 free plus line products. You get 20 sample mailouts. If you sell those for $25 a piece, and I will help you get $500 back from that kit. And it comes with free shipping. And then you get a promotional pay as a $200K for the first 4 months of your business, which is huge when you're going after a VIP bonus. Then we run, girl, and we grab you that VIP bonus. Like, it's just about confidently going into it. If you're tiptoeing around the price, they're going to feel super on edge about it too. It's how you present it. Seriously, you guys, use your voice clip.
Yeah. And I think people automatically go into every sale thinking people can't afford it. Every person, like, I don't care who you are on here, in your mind somewhere, you're thinking, I'm not going to tell them about the 800 kit. Nobody can afford that. You're automatically making assumptions. Most people that are like seriously interested in starting a business and seriously interested in being successful, they understand that it costs money to start a business. There's no business on planet Earth that you can start for free, except Lavelle, which you truly could if you wanted to. But most people that are serious, they're going to be open and they want to know all their options. I've actually had people mad at me because I didn't tell them about the 800 kit that they could have got paid as a 200K. And that was a big lesson learned, because I'm like, why didn't I give them that option? I mean, they're the ones that can say no. Like, I'm already making that assumption. And I think a lot of people will go into things with discounts before the person even asked for one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why wouldn't you let them say, oh, that's too much, before you go into offering the moon? It's like,
Yeah.
how did you know? They probably would have paid the 150. Like, you were totally underestimating people. And we're not, I mean, that's the thing, is you said it. You have got to get on and learn from leadership and listen to trainings, because it's these tips like that that can change your whole business. Like, how you're wording something could be the one downfall that keeps you from signing the people that are in your inbox, and you can learn how to do it. Everything is learnable. Like, there's a way to do things. And I mean, doesn't matter who you are, Ashley, me, anyone on planet Earth, we still get no's. We still get people that say, sorry, that's just too much. Okay, then it's just not for you right now. And that's the second thing I was going to ask you is, what do you do with people that, I mean, I guess how much follow-up is too much follow-up? Or, like, I ask you about it once and then I kind of ghost you. Like, are you after that point, are you following up with people like that every time Thrive comes out with something new, or there's some kind of special? And how do you not feel like you're bugging somebody?
Yeah. So my thing with following up is, I will follow up with you until you tell me, like, hey, I'm not interested right now. I'll let you know when I am. And then I leave you alone, right? Because I'm not here to like convince you to want this product. But if you are like, you're interested and I give you the details and then I don't hear from you, I will 100% follow up. Even without a deal dropping, I'll in a couple of days, I'll be like, hey, did you have any more questions? And that's my biggest thing is like, hey, if they just kind of stop after you told them information, hey, do you have any more questions? Usually they'll be like, yes, I have this and this, or no, not right now. And then that's kind of where I'll leave it be. But yeah, I follow up all the time. Follow up is so huge. And especially people that were interested, those are people that I really keep on my list too, of people that I'm interacting with. I'm engaging on their timelines and stuff because they're clearly interested, something about it made them skeptical or maybe made them take a step back. But if they're still seeing me on their page and they're like, man, this girl's consistent, they're going to reach back out. So I'm super consistent, and I don't think of it as I'm being annoying. I'm like, the second this girl tries this product, she's going to be happy that I was bugging her. Not bugging, don't bug them every day, but like, every week or so, check back in. And just constantly be on their social medias, loving on them and stuff like that, I found is key. Just so that you're like, hey, I'm here, without being like, hey, you need this product. But yeah, I try not to think of it in a way as like I'm bothering them. It's more of like they're gonna love the product, we just need to get it into their hands. Or another good tip is like, if someone was interested, and I'll do mini sales, maybe I'll do a 2-day for $10 or something, and I'll reach out and say, hey, I have a sample on hand, or I have samples on sale right now. If you want to try 3 days, I know you were interested. Let's start with a sample or a trial pack. People sometimes with sample don't like the word sample, but I use sample all the time, but trial pack is better. I'll just reach out and be like, hey, let's get you 3 days of this stuff so you can try it. I know you were interested. So yeah, I definitely follow up. You guys need to be following up. Unless they told you no, then I leave them alone. But if they just kind of like stop reading my messages, I always follow up.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only way to be successful is to be persistent and consistent, and if you ever feel awkward, just say, girl, am I driving you nuts? Like, just ask, like, do you want me to not do this anymore? It's crazy to me how like people are so scared. We get all, oh my God, is it too much? Should I say enough? Not enough? Like, if you don't say anything at all, it's always a no. They're never going to join if you ignore them. Like, I would rather follow up too much than just forget about people and then one day watch them go like a 200K on someone else's team. I'm like, what the heck? That's happened before. That's the worst ever. We are coming at the top of the hour. I have one more question for you. What self-development is your favorite? Like, is there something that you think everybody should do every day? Do you have a favorite book people should read? Do you have a favorite podcast people should listen to? Like, is there anything that you have self-development wise that you think people need to know about this?
I am constantly doing self-development. My favorite self-development book is my Bible, but that's not for everyone. So I'm constantly, worshiping, playing worship music. I'm reading my Bible. I open it all day. I have my Bible app that I use, but you guys, like, if you go to YouTube and you type in, you need to be doing self-development, especially in this type of industry where you're going to hear no's a lot. You're going to have, social media can be a negative space. So it's really important to actually, and let me start with this, start your day with self-development. Do not grab your phone, open Facebook, the first thing you do in the morning. That is awful, because if you see something negative, guess how that starts your day off? Negative. So it's really important to start your day with self-development. I love to YouTube, like, what is the YouTube that I follow? Oh my gosh, I can't think of it right now. You guys literally type in self-development videos in YouTube and you will find a bunch. There's some really good ones that really hype me up in the morning. I am not a reader, but I love audiobooks. So Unfuck Yourself was a really good audiobook. Oh my gosh, let me go to my Audible real quick. I'll tell you guys the ones that I loved. Sorry, you can't see my face, but I will tell you. Okay, the Rachel Hollis ones are my favorite. You guys, me and my husband listened to the whole Dave Ramsey, the Total Money Makeover Audible, just to like instill like good financial decisions into my brain. Honestly, you just find a lot of my girls love podcasts. Like, you can go and you can type different let's say, do you have something going on in your life, like type in like best podcasts for being a stressed out mom, and you'll like find a bunch of stuff. So just find stuff that works for you. But yeah, Unfuck Yourself is like a really, really good one. Something about his voice is like, he has like a accent, like I think he's like British or something. It's a really good one. And Rachel Hollis, of course, she's great. But yeah, just make sure you're doing some sort of self-development. My main thing is my Bible. So
Yeah, I love that. And it's just finding what works for you. Everybody's different. And it depends on what season you're going on in your mind in your life right now. Like maybe you need self-development on organization, or maybe you need self-development on leadership, or maybe you're looking for self-development on not how to, take things personally. Like there's 12 billion subjects on self-development, and there's different times in your life where you need different things. So just plug into something, because if you're not learning and growing, you can't go 200K. Like I truly believe that you have to, or you could go there, but you're not going to stay there without improving yourself. You just can't do it. Ashley, oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing this. I truly appreciate it. Your story is amazing. And again, I'm going to continue to pray for your sister and your family. And oh my gosh, like you're about to have that baby.
I'll show you guys the bump. Let me show you.
And you seriously, like aren't you due in December?
Yeah. Well, I'm due January 3rd technically, but both my kids were 10 days early, so I can guarantee I'm gonna have like a Christmas baby.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, good luck. I'm so excited for you guys. And to everybody that's on here today, thank you guys for hopping on. And if you're an 80K or a 200K, I'd love to get you on the schedule for the end of December or the new year coming up. I want to start filling up the calendar. So if I've never interviewed you, get in my inbox, or if I have interviewed you, but it's been a while, I'd love to interview you again. We have a ton of new people that have joined us this year that haven't heard your guys' stories yet. So please, please, please message me so I can get you on the schedule. And it's payday, you guys. We just got paid a minute ago. So be grateful. Go make your payday post. Don't forget to let the world know what Thrive did for you this week. Gosh, Christmas is around the corner, and we still have so much opportunity to put an extra $1,320 in people's pockets before Christmas. Like they come in now, it's the perfect time for extra Christmas cash. So don't forget to put that payday post out there, because it may draw some attention for you. Thanks, Ashley. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Same time, same place, same link. Get it out to your teams and have a great week, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.